these two spectacular players.
I would love to. In the bottom right spawn position here on ESL's Whirlwind, we've got playing in red, playing as Protoss, playing for SK Gaming. It is the Korean MC, the Boss Toss, the Obama Toss, or however you want to call him. In the top right position, we've got one of the best European Zerg players. He's playing in blue. He's playing... Oh, he's pulling his drones. What is happening? It is Western Wolves, Sortof.
Now, I've got a cool little interesting stat here for you, Lurlian. If you update a certain StarCraft 2 player ranking website with the current result of 1-0 to MC, MC now statistically has a just under an 84% chance to win this game and win this series. That is a pretty massive thing, but stats, they don't say everything, and after game one Sortof had some moments of brilliance, and I really think that he's got the potential to take this and level it out and force the ace game.
Yeah, Sortof really has a chance to prove himself that he is one of the best European Zergs. He was such an up-and-coming player last year, having so many notable performances and making it very far in a lot of tournaments. But as of this year, I feel like he hasn't been able to perform as well, and he would be able to prove everyone wrong by taking out MC right now and proving that he is still one of the best European Zergs, as he is taking his hatchery first on this big map. MC is scanning to the left, so that probe is not going to be able to perform any kind of cannon rush.
Yeah, and there's also no forge down. MC just going for the same build as he did in the first game, that gateway expand. It's really becoming quite popular through a lot of Protoss players, especially on maps where there is quite a large ramp. You want to be quite cautious about any early aggression, but sort of he's playing the game of a 4-player map and just getting that hatch first, as you said, Lurlian, and it's a good thing to do. It gets you slightly economically ahead, and as long as you don't get a cannon rushed or something like that, it's going to pay off for you. And you can see both these players are scouting in the wrong directions for the moment. Actually, MC's probe going to go all the way around and scout sort of last, so absolutely no danger for him there. Meanwhile, in terms of what MC's doing, just getting down his cybercore, he has got the one gas happily sitting there and should be taking his Nexus fairly soon.
Yeah, he's going to take that Nexus. The question we really have to ask ourselves in this game is, how does MC want to play this? Is he actually going to try to take 3 bases on this map? Because that is a pretty difficult thing to do, especially in these spawning positions. He's going to have to take the base to his left, and that base is really far away from his natural. As in, really far away. It's super difficult to defend. If you position your army in the middle between your natural and your third base, that is such a big area. It's so difficult to use force fields there, and a lot harder to defend than it would be to defend your base to the right side, if you know what I mean. The usual third base, the pocket expansion to the right, that would be a lot easier to take, but that way he would be expanding towards his opponent. What do you think he's going to go for if he takes a third? Would he go for further away to the left, or
I think he will go further away to the left. You never really want to be expanding towards your opponent. That's the big thing, and it wouldn't be too bad. But MC on this map, we saw in the last game as well, he was happy to put on actually quite a nice little bit of pressure off of 2 bases in order to secure that third. And if he does put that pressure on again, he's got quite a few different options on Whirlwind. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Stargate come out. It would be perfectly fine to go for. It's not the best spawn positions for a Stargate, but you can do it. And as we can see for the moment, MC, he's just grabbing on 2 additional gateways here. So this is a different build to what we saw in game 1 so far. But no, there we go. There's the 4th one. I was expecting to see that. So this is all good. 4 gates. Will it just be 4 gates plus the Stargate, an identical build to the last game?
I'm not sure, actually. Last game's build seemed a little bit wonky to me, like 4 gateways into a Stargate, into a Forge, into another Forge, into a Robo. I think a lot of that was reactionary play as to what Sortof was doing, and Sortof in this game, he's doing pretty much the exact same thing if it weren't for the fact that he went for a hatch first. But once again, he's not getting an early third, he's got double gas in his main, he's getting double evolution chambers, so he's going to have well-upgraded Zerglings for the mid-game. And I would expect MC to do the exact same build if he scouts that his opponent doesn't have a third, which he's going to be seeing now. This probe's going to get in here and see, okay, no third. So are we going to see that Stargate again, or is he actually going to try the 4-gate pressure this time?
The 4-gate pressure, I think, would be brilliant, but we can see it's really sentry heavy at the moment, so that in itself tells us that he's not going to be going for too much too soon, but sort of This delayed third, he's getting quite a few Zerglings out, so he's obviously being quite cautious. He's sacrificing that Overlord in once more into the main base to try and take a look at what MC's going for. And if we actually take a look at sort of visions, he's seen the 3 additional gateways at the front, now sees the 4th gate. He's going to be looking really closely, is there any tech down? And the answer to that, of course, at the moment is no, there isn't. It's just these gateways, and we do have the 3rd and 4th gas taken, but no probes have been transferred into there quite yet.
MC is now moving out with his big sentry force. It could be for an expansion. His probe could go back and drop down that Nexus, but it doesn't look like that's what he's going to do because he just warped in some more Stalkers. An attempt to at a run-by Sortof gets stopped by the Zealot on hold position. Their pylons going down, so we're definitely going to see MC pressure here with his 4 gateways. He has taken his 3rd and 4th gas behind this, though, so he has now 4 gases running. He will be able to tech switch out of this. The Zealots... Ooh, nice force fields there. Cuts off almost every Zergling. Only 1 Zergling gets away and Sortof is in some trouble right now. He does have a Spinecrawler on the way, but this 3rd base is looking so vulnerable. He just dropped that 3rd base.
We've got the Hallucinated Phoenix coming in just saying, okay, what have you got there? We'll see those Spine Crawlers. We've got a lot of Zerglings in production, 14 more on the way to join the 30 already on the field. The 1-1 upgrades are not going to be done in time for Sortof. He gets us around with those Speedlings, a couple of force fields trying to stop the reinforcements coming in. MC, he desperately wants to force a cancel here. The 1 sentry gets picked off there, and the Zealots are still having to engage.
The Mothership Core.
Yeah, that's got to stay up. It's got 200 energy though, so can mass recall if needed.
Yeah, mass recall is going to be the prime purpose of that Mothership Core. 2 of the Queens have already died though. Really good forces by MC, and this last Queen is the last anti-air he's got, and if that Mothership Core stays alive, that's going to be really painful for Sortof. That Queen has to stay alive. It's going to inject and stay alive for a little while longer. More Queens are in production. The 3rd base is still morphing in, but he's going to have to force to cancel that in a second.
He will, but as we've got a lot more Zerglings coming down here, they're actually going to get pushed back for the moment as the Sentries, the Mothership Core, and the Zealots come and just save this pylon. MC following this up. He does have his robotics facility just starting, but oh, here we go. We've got the Zerglings doing their best to try and engage. The 1-1 upgrades are done now for Sortof, which is helping him hold this off, but the pylon stays up. More units getting warped in. This is still a lot of pressure being applied, and Sortof is not droning. He's just being forced to pump as many Zerglings as possible, and because of that, MC has already taken a 3 harvester lead.
Yeah, MC is keeping his opponent on 2 bases, which is a good thing, but if his opponent's getting double upgrades, and MC is just now getting his 1st attack upgrade, so he's going to be really far down in the upgrades. When MC has +1, his opponent's going to have +2 too. Sortof has the upgrade advantage. Is he going to be able to do anything with that? Not that much. He is able to snipe off a few sentries. But still, how many remain? At least 6 sentries still alive. MC is going to warp in the 7th one. There's going to be so many force fields left in store. MC now up in supply by 15. I don't think the upgrades are going to be enough. I don't think Sortof will live long enough to see the 2-2 finish.
Well, the push is coming up towards the 3rd lurdy, and so we're going to be able to see very shortly whether Sortof is going to be able to hold this off. He's running in with a couple of Zerglings. He's got to get a good attack angle, but he just doesn't have enough stuff down at the moment. He's only got 30 Zerglings on the field, and that's up against quite a sizable force. And of course, that Mothership Core does still have 200 of 200 energy. Time Warps, Mass Recall, all available. This 3rd hatchery definitely going to go down. I wouldn't be surprised to see MC just get out of here as soon as that falls.
Yeah, he could. He could just take another engagement, and as soon as he sees the engagement's not going to work, he can recall. But he's not going to do that. He's just going to do what Metal said and recall his army back home and fall back on a War Prism that he has coming out. He also has the Robotics Bay finished up, and he's getting a Twilight Council at the same time. So MC's going to stay on 2 base for a little while longer. He feels that he has done enough damage to his opponent on 2 bases that he can probably finish the game on 2 bases at the same time. Hallucinated Phoenix are coming in to scout for any potential tech switches. Do I have to worry about Mudas or something? MC's going to see that's not the case.
Yeah, the Hive is the only thing coming down, but as we saw in Game 1, Sortof, while he's got a lot of gas banked up, his gas income isn't going to be too great. He's having to take that double expansion after losing that 3rd, but there's no way he's going to be able to pressure into here. MC is just in such a nice defense position. He's got a huge number of sentries with a lot of energy, even chucking down 2 photon cannons at his natural just to make sure that things are really safe, because ultimately MC knows that he's on equal workers, he's on equal bases. That's only good for a Protoss.
Yeah, MC wants to push with that first Colossus that he has coming out. He knows his opponent has to take an economic risk or some risk of swords to come back into this game, and MC is going to try to hit some kind of a timing. That's why he invested in so many photon cannons. He wants to make sure that he's not going to die to some weird counterattack. Oh, what is Sortof doing right now? He's losing a lot of his links here to the pretty well upgraded Zealots, but the Zerglings, of course, much better upgraded. They've got 3 upgrades over the Zealots. Here comes the attempt at a counterattack, but the 3 cannons that MC just chunked down are going to be super useful there.
Really useful, especially with those 2 sentries ready to force field. A couple of gateway units may get caught out of position here. And as you just pointed it out, Lurlian, those 2-2 upgrades for the Zerglings up against just 1-0 ground upgrades for MC. That's quite a big advantage, but it comes back down to just sheer amount of stuff out on the field for the Protoss player. 139 supply to 99. Big supply advantage. The army supply heavily favoring the Protoss. And with the Colossus out, this push is just going to start gaining a lot of momentum very quickly.
Yeah, it can't sort of do anything. He's got a few investors that are gonna soften up the army a lot. The Mothership Core has been taken out, so no more time warps, no mass recalls, and the Zerglings are gonna come in from the back, but a lot... Oh, look at all those sentries, man! They stayed alive with 1 HP, now they're all dead. Another fungal goes down, but there's 2 more sentries left alive with full energy, and look at that force field wall. Look at those Zerglings struggle to get in, and there's many more force fields in store. MC hits his force field spot on. There's even a war prism here to reinforce, and sort of... His Ultralisk are not out in time.
No, they will not be out in time to deal with this. All of the Zerglings trying to stream in. We've got a couple more force fields going down, just making sure that all these tight chokes are enabled. 1 Ultra on its way forward, but there's a good number of sentries there, a good number of Stalkers, a good number of Zealots, and the Colossus will take it down. And there is the G.